All right, Mark, take it away.
I'm going to share my whole screen and throw the slide deck up here. Can you guys see it?
We can.
All right, I want to ask this question because I'll need everyone's help, please. What are the best ways to have customers or strategic partners submit a referral or an introduction to your business?
Isn't there a tool out there? The person who just joined as a member, is that who you're talking about? What's his name? Chad?
Did Chad join? Oh,
Chad is a sponsor. Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I am using a tool like this, so we'll get into a little bit about that. Does anyone have any suggestions or any answers to that question for your own business?
Like email?
Email.
Email, text, WhatsApp. Like
text, WhatsApp.
I mean, I usually ask the person first if they're okay on the receiving side, if they are open to an introduction.
That's awesome. I think by far, I think there's probably even some scientific. We're going to talk a little bit of scientific. I just threw these questions here. Why referrals? Basically because the lead quality is better, the lead quantity is better, and if we get introductions from people who know, like, and trust us, the affordability of those leads are really cheap, right? We just say, hey, Michael, you know, I do SEO for SEO companies, white label. If you know of any businesses that need search engine optimization for their digital marketer, maybe I'll be a great partner and fit for them. Can you introduce me, right? Half the battle is just being able to tell people what you are good at doing so that when you get a referral from a friend like Rajiv, right? You are a good referral partner. Tim, I love referrals. They are so good. Here's why. Customers that are referred to a business are 4 times likely to refer you to someone else, because those referrals that turn into customers, they are 4 times likely to be able to get more referrals from them. So that's why we like them. Referral leads are over 30% more likely to close than any other lead. And I tell you, Michael, I'm batting 100% with everything that you've shared with me. So it's even higher for good leads like the ones that you can produce. Referred customers have a 37% higher retention rate. How about that? Who wants that customer for 12 years, 15 years, right? I do. I'm on retainer. All right, so golden referral method, if the person's making the intro is credible, like you, Michael, you're a credible person, most of the selling is already done before the demo sells and all that even happens. Show up rates increase drastically. That's if you're doing Zoom meetings. Who's ever been ghosted before? All right, people don't want a bad person to, you know, anyway, this is just science. So have you guys heard of the 20-20-60 rule?
No.
It's a simple rule. 20% of your customers are going to refer you business. And you really don't have to do much about it. If you have a good service, you're going to get that 20%. However, there's 20% of your customers that no matter how hard you ask, no matter what you do to get them to do something, they won't give you a referral. Just have to forget about them, all right? 60% is the market that we want to target as business owners. Have you heard of this, Michael? If we put an incentive to people to give us referral, we're missing 60% of the market, and 30% of the businesses out there don't have a good referral system. Most of them are really poor and, you know, just basically lame. The salespeople don't know how to do it. The owners don't know how to do it. And we forget to ask our current customers how to do it. There's a number of ways, you know, I just put these buckets here, new customers. You can get referrals from new customers. That's the best customer to get a referral, in my opinion. Existing and past customers and strategic partners.
Why is new better than current or past?
What?
Why is new customers better than current or past? You would think that those would still have.
I get more referrals from a new customer, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
This is why. The best type of referrals that come to me, and they've always been this way, is email. but I am learning that WhatsApp app, direct, LinkedIn and SMS are now really loading on me, and I'm getting a lot of referrals. And that's from introductions from businesses that are customers of mine and mostly strategic partners, as well as new customers. And the reason I like new customers is that they are, they're so excited to get started with my 30-day trial that I offer, a digital marketer, that they are willing to get their price down even more than so I can put an incentive out there to tell them, you know, the 30-day trial I offer is great, but then eventually you'll have to pay me some money, and I can even knock that price down even more. So they're motivated at that time. All right. This is my new addition. I know, Michael, I've said this last month, but I'm going to show my phone. Can you guys see my phone?
It's hard to see, but yeah, we can see the phone.
There's an app right there. You're looking, it's called the SEO Game Referral app. And you can download it in the iOS and the Google Store. And this is what it looks like when you get it downloaded. You get to only do one thing. If you downloaded the SEO Referral app, you get to make an SMS introduction or make an email introduction. That's it. Once you click an SMS intro or email, you get your contacts. This is my contact list, and you select somebody who maybe be in your contact, or you enter a number manually or email manually. It's simple. It does one thing. So I clicked Aaron Beebe, and notice how the email it just all comes there. So anyone who downloads my app, they just get a prefabricated introduction, a way to introduce my services to somebody else who might need it. It's a three-way conversation between Aaron and myself and the person who gave me the referral, John. John gives me the referral, and then he hits send, and that's what it looks like. After he sends it, then he has a web-based backend to it, where the backend basically says where John's lead is. Here's John Doe that sent me the one we just looked at over here. And John Doe is at 25%. My goal is to get him to 100% so I could incentivize him to maybe give him a referral fee and all that fun stuff. Like my referral fees for all my clients are lifetime, so I pay a monthly 10%, and that's in my TRN bio that you helped me set up, Michael. I put, you helped me set up that referral, so you get to actually see how much money you'll make. And generally, partner websites that I get started with are about 2 years. So I asked this quick question for you guys. What app do you have on your phone that you could click and spend 1 minute on and make $1,000? Do you have any? If you didn't, if you don't, I challenge you to download the SEO Referral app. And if you do, I'll send you an email and explain to you how in 1 minute of your time you can make $1,000. Okay, in the average lifetime of a client of about 2 years. And that's basically my end of my presentation. It goes on to, if you have to, make it easy for your partners and your customers to give you referrals, you got to make it seamless. You got to be able to track it using a web-based system so people on the app know exactly where the stages are, so that you then can say, hey, what about my payout? And then payouts, you want to keep them ongoing and always incentivizing them. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah. So do you want to reveal this? I assume is the app that Chad, the company he works for, or his company?
Yeah, I had them develop it, and it's really going crazy on me now. It's like I'm in La La Land right now.
Right. But isn't that what he does? I mean, their product essentially is customizable to any company.
Absolutely.
And you license it from them for, I don't know what the fee is, and they customize it for you.
That's
if it
right.
comes-
And I paid a developer to help me get the app, and he happens to be a sponsor of the TRN network. I jumped into it because I was caught on. There's no better referral. It's a no-brainer for me to think of the strategic partners. In the past, I had like 15 Excel spreadsheets and Google Sheets, keeping track of everybody's referrals, and this just simplified it, put it all together. And I am growing, and it's just for me. And these guys took me special. But it's a very simple app.
Yeah, I thought they that's sort of their standard product or service.
Yeah, that's all they do.
Right. And it's I think it's under marketing. It's under sponsors. It should be communications technology or something. I think communications technology or something like that. Or maybe he hasn't joined yet, but I thought it was.
So
Yeah.
if anyone wants to see the app in action and have an app on their phone and talk to me about it, I'd love to do one-to-ones and just explain how it works for me. And maybe, you could, as a happy customer, I might be able to explain how it might work for them. And yeah.
I just got a question. I mean, I was like looking on my phone. Did you say it's in the Apple Store? Apple iOS?
Yeah, SEO Game.
Oh, it's called SEO Game, not SEO App Referral or whatever.
No, it's SEO Game. Just type in SEO Game.
Is it only in the Apple Store or is it in like Google Play?
It's in both. And you know what? I apologize. I should have just put the link in the chat, but I have a link that I'll just put in the chat where you can just click it. That's in both stores. Just type in SEO Game, and you will get to it. Or you can click on here, this in the chat. Found it. All right, there it is. You can get a direct link to it in the App Store of your choice.
I'm going to share my screen briefly. So this is I believe this is the product, right? Revitize.
Yeah, they're the developers that help me with it.
Right. So this is what they do. They create these apps. It's basically a standard app that they then customize to your needs, so that you like Mark with the SEO Game, they'll create a version of it for your business. So and Chad is the guy.
Yeah.
And you can find this. Yeah, you could find this under sponsors, marketing technology, or you could just do a search for the word Revitize. Okay, I will stop sharing. Any other questions for Mark?
Mark, was it terribly expensive to have them customize that for you?
Extremely. For me, it was. But now I'm happy. So I lost a few hairs, and I was worried a little bit about the $4,000 price. Yeah.
I thought it was less, but maybe I didn't get it right. Okay, so $4,000. Okay.
You have to, yeah.
Because I thought it was 12,000. I saw the 12,000 on the TRN site.
No, that's the. I don't know how that works. Do they get? I don't know. You could speak to him.
You can speak to Chad.
Yeah, just reach out to Chad.
I have the price that they have on their website, because I'm a one-person individual. But they have different prices for if you're having a larger network of moving parts that are necessary.
And Rajiv asked, is there an annual recurring fee associated with that?
That I have to look in the fine print. I'm sure I have to every year pay the App Store fees.
Okay.
They do a lot. There's a lot of different services that they have in the app. I have bare bone minimums. Okay. So there's services like text messaging for, there's import features and export features for texting and email. Texting is the one that costs to use as a sub service. There's integrated services using Stripe for payouts, which make things a little bit more complicated. So it's all automatic and stuff like that. But you know what? Make sure you're the right fit for it. I mean, I'm not a salesman for them at all. I love the ability to make things super easy for my strategic partners and my customers. That's all.
Mark, so quick question. First of all, congrats. And I'm very happy that it's kind of working so well for you. So my question is this like an alternative to having a, I don't know, like an affiliate link or something like that?
Yeah, there's people who do affiliate links, more power to them. Like if you're sponsoring a YouTube, you want to make, Robinhood, YouTube, right? That's a good affiliate link to refer someone. You make a little money off of that. I'm sure you can. The other way to do referrals is create a form on your page and have them fill it out, right? Have someone fill out a contact form. But anyway, this is just for me. It works best for me.
Great. Well, listen, thank you so much for last minute presentation. Really interesting stuff. Of course, anybody here wants to do something similar, reach out to Chad, or if you want to have more, if you have more questions, of course, you can reach out to Mark if you want to download his app and refer business to him. That's great. So I just put in the chat the order in more or less. I'm not sure if it's the order in which people showed up. It's the order in which I jotted the names down. I forgot to say that Barry is also a guest. He's been here a number of times, but we're always happy to have him back. I just happened to have him listed first. First of all, everybody take a look at that list, make sure I didn't miss anyone. If I did, I will add you. But so we'll go Barry, Tim, Brittany, and we'll do like 2.5 minutes. I think that should be give enough time for everyone and still have a little bit of time at the end. And I'm going to put it in speaker mode for the recording. So if everybody else would go on mute, that would be great. And Barry, take it away.
Thank you, Michael, and welcome, Brittany. And nice to see everybody back here. It's been several weeks since I've been here. So just a quick update. I have joined 3 startup accelerator programs: Bolster, ERA, and XRC Labs. I'm very excited about that, and they'll all get going this summer and into the fall. I signed up to be an advisor for a VC called Imperium, and I made my first angel investment with TBD Angels. So that's been really exciting. I love that. And that, I have to tell you, I've been learning so much by being connected to that angel investment group. It's, I'm so used to evaluating businesses and companies from a marketing lens. So, who's your audience? How difficult is it to go to market? Do you have clear messaging? And it's really been helpful for me to hear how more experienced investors evaluate businesses, like what's the valuation, what's the cap table, what's the competitive moat, and on and on and on. So that's been really terrific. And I've been exposed to a lot of businesses that I would never, ever get exposed to. I also spent the whole last week running around at NFT New York City, which was super fantastic. And I minted my first collection on OpenSea. So if anybody wants to talk about NFTs, I'd love to pick up that conversation offline. And then finally, I think I'm going to do like 2 consulting projects. One, helping a creative agency think about how they support their media billings. And then the other project, which I'm really super excited about, is helping a media agency build out a creative marketing tech stack. So if there's anybody in the network that I should know about as I sort of think about that, please, ping me, let me know about that. I still don't have a company. I don't have an LLC. It's just me. And I'm just continuing to talk to some really interesting people like all of you. So thank you for my 2.5 minutes. And hopefully I didn't go over.
You did not. I will put this up and it will ring. And by the way, when you say create a marketing tech stack, they're trying to do it for themselves, create a marketing tech stack?
Yeah, so, so many agencies, and I did this when I was at Media Kitchen, we had a media tech stack. So we built out like preferred partners around SEM, DSPs, demand side platforms, location data, data warehouses and things like that, multi-touch attribution, media mix modeling. And that's all great in service of a media campaign. But then there's this whole other side, which is around creative tech. So that's, you know, DPO, headline generation, brief sourcing, on and on and on. So, you know, things that work on the creative side.
Digital asset management, et cetera.
Yeah, kind of, well, more like also automating the creative process using machine learning and artificial intelligence.
Oh, neat. Very cool.
Yeah.
So if anybody has any thoughts on that, they should reach out to Barry.
Please.
Okay, Tim Gannon, you are up.
Hi, I'm Tim Gannon. I'm the owner and creative director of Big Work. I'm in between jobs, right? Not in between jobs, in between gigs. I got a couple starting up in a couple of weeks. So what better time to do a little spot treatment on the website? And I built a new sizzle reel. That's where Mark comes in, changing up the website, going to make it much better. But I want to do a little show and tell. This is a sizzle reel I just cut. I'm going to share sound. It's only 1 minute, 4 seconds. But it really gives you a pretty good idea of what I do. That is
Very cool.
me in a nutshell. Big Work Digital. All
Got
your
38
video,
more seconds. Go ahead.
all your.
Can I have a question? Tim,
Yes,
can I
sir.
ask you? What if that video, the client or you want to get rid of the people with the face mask? Because that may be negative.
I made a conscious, you're the second person that said that today, but I made a conscious effort to keep it in there. It shows that we're working during the pandemic and it's a current project. And also Hudson News said you can't have every single shot everybody has to have a mask in it. So it was a conscious effort to keep it in.
Very cool. It does date it. If in a year from now it's all over, people will know when it was.
Then I'll have to recut it. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Brittany, you get the idea, right? Tell us a little bit about what you do and how you can help others and how they can help you.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you, Rajiv, for inviting me today. I was joking with him that before Stacey showed up, I thought I was like invited to the boys club. So, which is fun for me. So to make the analogy why that's so close to me. So I'm a marketing director at One Thing Marketing. We specialize in digital marketing with SEO, PPC, websites. But I actually specialize in trades. So we're more of a contractor, home service business focus. So 90% of my clients are not in my state, and they are mainly in roofing, HVAC, and paving are the main guys I have. But we're really just kind of focused to hone in on them. And mainly it's the guys that don't know anything about marketing, which is kind of my joke about the boys club is it's, a lot of men working in the industry. So just kind of making sure I can make that connection with them. So really, as far as we really hone in on just those services. So when I was talking to Rajiv, what I think was a really great thing he invited me for is because we really just want to stay close niche to those. We don't do social media. We don't do videos. That was a really cool video, Tim. We don't do any of that stuff because it's not going to pertain sometimes to those type of clients, but I do get a lot of referrals in for looking a lot of outside things we don't do in marketing that I was really kind of hoping to get to know you all to pass more referrals to, because not everyone that I'm talking to is local anymore. So just trying to find some people around the US that can take care of those clients for me. And I know I have time, but I'm just trying to figure out what else you would like me to say that would be helpful for today.
Where are you based?
I am based in Louisville, Kentucky. So,
Louisville. And so are you, but you said you have clients all over.
yes. So yeah, most of our clients are not actually here. So I've just signed up recently a paver in California. I talked to a landscaping company in California and now a remodeling company in California. So something's going on in California since they all keep reaching out to Kentucky. But yes, that's kind of since we specialize in just that. It does make us stay exclusive. So I can only have so many roofers here in my city. So I would love to make sure I also partner with you all, because if there is a conflict of exclusivity in my own city, I would love to know if someone else could help those guys that I trust.
That sounds great. Yeah, I mean, we have people from all over the country. You will find, I mean, it is somewhat heavily leaning toward the Northeast because that's where I'm from, and I started this a couple of years ago. But we are looking to expand, outside of the Northeast. And thank you for joining us, and thank you for telling us about what you do and where you specialize. Because now, we can think of Brittany and the trade businesses for marketing.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and you're welcome back. And certainly, if you have an interest in joining, just ping me, and we'll do a one-on-one, and I'll get you through, talk through the whole process. Jeff Linder.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jeff Linder. My company is Fresh Branding Group. Fresh Branding Group is a 14-year-old advertising agency. But I just want to say, it's like everyone thinks they know exactly what advertising is and how it works, and probably half the people here do some of it, at least a little. I just want to say, I'm in a number of networking groups, and there's something that happens in almost every networking group that I'm in, and it just makes me crazy. There's often a person who makes, I don't know what you call them, premiums, gifts and stuff like that. They put a logo on a pen or an umbrella or something. And Rajiv has heard this, he's cracking up already. And that person stands up at the networking group and says, yes, my company, yes, we do branding. And I am just about ready to explode, because no, you don't do branding. I know what you do. It's called logo on an umbrella. That's not branding. It's called logo on an umbrella. And then sometimes we have printers who stand up in the networking groups and they say they do branding. No, they don't do branding. They do business cards and letterhead. That's not branding. What I've realized is that branding, the idea, the word, even just the word, is just the most confusing business word in business. No one knows what it is. No one can seem to, but everyone thinks they're doing it. But I just want to tell you that branding is not your logo. Branding is not your business card. Branding is not your letterhead. It's called letterhead and business cards. Branding is what the brand is, what people think of you if they think of you. So that's what branding is, and that's what we do. And then we use a lot of tactics, whether it's SEO, whether it's TV commercials, it doesn't matter. We help the clients figure out how to actually communicate who they are and what their brand is about. So that's all I have to say.
So it's the
I probably
impression.
did not go over my time.
No, you did not. You still have 17 seconds. So it's the impression that people have of your name and your logo and whatever else.
It's your logo is part of your brand, but it is not your brand. Think of the BMW. Think of an easy one like BMW or Lexus or something. You know the logos, but the logo makes you think of something.
Right.
If you think of it.
It's right. And it's what they make you think of. It's that impression that is the brand.
Correct.
It's the brand on the user's brain. Okay.
It's a space in your brain.
Consumers, it's a space in your brain. That's why it's hard to get your head around, so to speak. Okay. Ken Simon, tell us what's going on.
Hi there, Ken Simon. I haven't been here for a while, I guess. I'm starting a new project, which I'm excited about. Let me start. I'm working with small and mid-sized companies, helping them develop lead generation strategies and growth strategies to help them market their products and services. And I've mostly been working with startups and in the manufacturing, financial services, and technology space. I'm starting with a new customer, which is kind of interesting. I'm not exactly sure. It's sort of like they are in the birding industry. They developed a artificial intelligence box which you put in your backyard, and it'll identify bird sounds, and it'll tell you what bird it is and send that information to an app on your phone. And it's an offshoot of another company, and they're, which is an acoustic company, and they just want to figure out how to market this. They think it has some wings to it. So I'm in the process of doing some market research on this marketplace or industry, and then figuring what the best way for them to grow. But it combines artificial intelligence and data processing and cloud and software. It's kind of interesting. It's a little of everything, and technology. So we will see. But anyway, so I work with small companies, helping them develop marketing strategies to help them, get their product out to the market and get to customers. I can't hear you.
Does it tell you what the birds are actually saying?
No, it doesn't tell you that. But I have to say, but it'll point out that this is, through artificial, it will say like you have a hawk or an egret in your backyard or whatever, and sends an alert to you. But they do something. They work with the National Science Foundation. They started doing underwater acoustics, so tracking sound under whatever. Now they're doing it here. So
I'll tell you, there's definitely a hobbyist market there. People who are.
I would buy that. I would buy that.
Yeah, I know. It sounds kind of cool. I mean, I'm trying to figure. It's not cheap because with the way they describe it, it's like they're giving you a whole computer. I'm trying to work with them on a pricing strategy too, because it's like, it's not one of those like cheap hobbyist things. But if you're into birding or hobby, that type of thing, it would be something that would be long term. It hooks up to your Wi-Fi and everything. But it's kind of interesting. I'll let you know more about it as I find out more about it.
Sounds very cool. Yeah, if they could put it on your phone as an app and you could bring it birding, there might be some real value to people who are big birders. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much, Ken. Mark Iorio, take it away.
All right, Michael, thank you. Good to see you guys and gals. It's great to see everyone. I have a business with my business partner, Al Cini, that we developed about a dozen years ago called the Brand and Culture Alignment Toolkit. And basically what that does is it helps organizations collectively get together to row in the same direction, get on the same page. It is based on the work that Carl Jung did back in the 1930s in personality archetypes. But this is for teams and organizations. So we ask this question up front. Imagine your entire team as though it were a single person doing its best work on its best day to deliver all of its promises and achieve all of its goals. What does that look like? And our survey instrument is 80 questions. It's online. And it's the cognitive part is that you start to select words that describe your organization. We'll give it to 10, 15, 20 people inside the organization, depending on the size. And we'll plot the results and go through a process to get everyone aligned on this quadrant and spit out through a series of workshops, a group of behaviors or aligned inspirations, as we call them, so that everyone can follow those codes of conduct. The last couple of steps are that we go to each individual around the room and ask them to make a commitment to doing 2 or 3 things behaviorally that everyone can observe that gets their culture closer to their brand promise. And so what ends up happening is you break down those silos that are inside organizations. From a marketing perspective, sales and marketing language is consistent across the board. From an organizational behavioral standpoint, you you begin to collaborate more often. The silos are broken down. The passive aggressive behavior goes away. We've done 11,000 of them over the last decade, and trying to work on the correlation between what we call an index of alignment and the valuation of the organization. Because, every single time we'll present this, one of the first questions from the CFO is, where is our ROI? So that's kind of the, that's the process. Michael, am I out of time?
You are. Would you have a quickie?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right. Absolutely. Really cool stuff. And I guess you and Jeff should have a great conversation about what branding is.
Yeah, I was laughing. Yeah.
Because it's certainly part of that is how the employees present themselves, especially those that touch the client, the customers.
Absolutely.
Stacey Mathis.
So I'm probably going to be under 3 minutes, but so ALM Media, the American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers, and the American Bar Association. They all hold the nation's or the world's leading position in their respective professional spaces. And they all have something in common. And if you're guessing that it's me and my copywriting company, you'd be right. My name is Stacey Mathis, and I own a company called Stacey Mathis Copywriting, but my website is Legal Copywriting Central. And what we do is law firms and companies in the legal industry come to us when they want convincing messaging for their magazines, for their PR news stories, for blogs, for all types of content and marketing collateral. They don't come to us when they want cookie cutter, they want to send, well, some of them do, but then we, quickly change their minds. We give them, as who was it? I think it was Barry, or was it, I think it was Barry, who just talked about branding. We give them a brand voice, something that aligns with who they really are, something they could pull off when clients come to their office, and it aligns with who they actually are, and it makes them more, it's more authentic for them, and we do that through writing. And these messages, like I said, can appear anywhere they use, anywhere they put their messaging, whether it's their LinkedIn page or their website or a landing page or a Google My Business, or which is now I think called Google Profiles, anything that they use to market their business or sell their services, we write that content for them. And, as I mentioned, a lot of these companies, they already, exude authority. They already have a position in their industry, and we basically contribute. We use our writing talent to contribute to that effort. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. I referred to Stacey's business as double niche. She does copywriting. So it's one type of marketing service in a very specific industry, the legal industry. And to add to that, she also works not just with lawyers, but also with vendors to the law firms, so providers of legal services and products. Cool. Thank you so much. Okay. Victor Lee.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Michael. Nice to be here. Nice to see everybody this afternoon. So it was great that Mark was doing the spotlight today, because my whole business is built around referrals, but it's really sort of, I guess, on steroids a bit, because I don't refer my company, I refer other people's companies. And so the way I like to think about this is I use the term foxes and hedgehogs. Now, I usually don't tell people that because it gets a little complicated, but this is a pretty bright bunch. So I'll give it a shot. If it doesn't work, then I'll stop. There was an ancient Greek philosopher named Archilochus who said, foxes know many things and a hedgehog knows one big thing. Okay, I have no idea what he means, but what I took that to mean is that hedgehogs are companies or people who are really, really good at one thing in particular. And so, for example, I regard everybody on this call as a hedgehog. Everybody has, has their niche, maybe a double niche, as Michael says, right? As Stacey has. but they really offer some service that's quite unique and powerful. The foxes are the people who know lots of other people, right? Who are super connectors, have really strong networks. So what I do is I find opportunities for the hedgehogs, and I bring them clients. And sometimes what I do is I reach out to my network of foxes and drag them into the process as well. So for example, with Rajiv, somebody had called me up, they needed help with a project. I brought Rajiv into it. And Rajiv, the poor guy, he now had to send out a spreadsheet this afternoon because we've got so many projects coming from this client that we're getting lost as to what's going on. So what I'm really interested in is finding more foxes. So people who want to play the game, who want to, mine their connections to see if they fit against some of the things that I'm looking at. So for example, Ken, it might be worth having a conversation. I love your product. I think of it as like Shazam for birds. But I have a friend who used to be a very senior executive at the Audubon Society. So if that's something that would be of interest to your client, then, why don't we have a chat and work out a deal? If not, that's fine too. But I know you and I've had conversations about some other projects that I've pursued. So it's great to see everybody. Would love to connect with everyone here. And let's see if we can't generate some business together, whether it's for you or for somebody else. Thanks.
Very good timing, and thank you very much. Love the hedgehog and fox analogy, and it's right in his name on Zoom. Okay.
My family asks about it all the time when we get together. Like, what's this foxes and hedgehogs thing? I'm like, never mind.
If you can prompt questions, you're moving in the right direction.
Yes.
Okay. Rajiv.
Thank you, Michael. Celebrities and athletes contact me after character assassination on TMZ or Eyewitness News. This is ruining their reputation and costing them millions of dollars in deals with brands like Netflix and Nike. These are some of the concerns of my top clients and where I do my best work. Hi, my name is Rajiv Jadhav, CEO of R Square Media, an award-winning online visibility and reputation management company. My superpower is in dealing with these kind of crazy sensitive situations and being able to delete the bad press and misinformation from Google quickly. So that's what I do in a nutshell. A lot of my business comes from agency partners, which I do have a 10% revenue share with, much like a lot of people here. And the goal, the ask is to have awesome conversations with all of you to explore synergies, to see who in my network potentially could be an ideal client for what you do, and also who in your network could be somebody that I could help, or more importantly, knows someone or is adjacent to someone who I can help. So typically the people that I'm looking for are sports agents, sports attorneys, entertainment attorneys, entertainment agents, celebrity publicists, people like that, essentially trusted advisors to people that might run into a reputation issue. And it's also people where the reputation can cost them extremely dearly, because it could either prevent a board appointment, delay a promotion, it could maybe dissuade from existing customers to continue to work with them, or for future customers to want to work with them because of all this junk that's connected to them. So that's what I do in a nutshell. And yeah, please connect with me on LinkedIn. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you. And I do have someone that works with former athletes, helping them sort of figure out what their next role will be. And maybe some of them have some bad stuff in the background they want to get rid of before they move on. I don't know.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
The more bad stuff, the merrier. All right. So thank you, Rajiv. I will give myself, I didn't miss anybody, did I? So speak now, as they say in that commercial, or forever hold your peace. That's the Liberty Mutual commercial that you probably all know what I'm talking about. So my name is Michael Bendit. My company is called Software Development Resources, and I haven't coded since 1983, I think it was, in any serious way, when I had an internship at IBM. And that's because I don't do any coding. What I do is I help coders and their companies, so small boutique software development firms, find the right opportunity. So I am a matchmaker. I'm a sales rep for about 12 different teams. My job is to understand where their strengths are and find opportunities that take advantage of those strengths. So people come to me when they're looking for, at least customers come to me when they're looking for help in the world of computer programming. About 60% of the work that I do is in the marketing space. So that's why I founded this group. A lot of you have given me great referrals. And, you know, if something gets referred to me and the client actually spends the money, I would say I have about a 60% or so close rate. And it's because I'm not just putting them together with, you know, with a random company. Based on my understanding of what they need, I'm going to match them with the right team. I had a call today. Many of you know Michael Meyer is a photographer. He does a lot of work in the legal space, actually, but he's pitching a job. I think it's a grant. It's a $50,000 grant. And he came up with this really interesting idea, and he's made it through a certain number of rounds, but part of it involves some programming. So he called me and he said, I have no idea what this is going to cost. And so I said, listen, it's not something that I can tell you right off the bat. I can give you, a rough estimate, but let me check with one of my teams, somebody who I know does a lot of image processing kind of work. And so that's why people reach out to me, and I'll, if I can, give him an estimate of what it's going to cost. And if he wins the job, I'm sure he'll come back to me and say, okay, how do we get this done? So really good leads for me are actually digital marketing teams that don't always have the resources in-house to do the website development, e-commerce development, mobile development for the opportunity that comes across their over their transom. That's about it for me. We have another 4 minutes. I'm going to go back into gallery mode. And it looks like we have 10 people left. A few people had to jump off. Any questions, comments, suggestions? Anybody want to say anything to anybody else? Here's your opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, just to say that, Mark is like really terrific to talk to. Brittany is awesome to talk to. So I highly recommend that you speak to them. And of course, if you haven't spoken to Victor, then I totally recommend that you speak to Victor. He's an extremely deep resource on, that whole 6 degrees of separation thing. Yeah. Talking to Victor is kind of like putting that into action or putting that to the test. So I'll just leave it at that.
Very cool. Well, thank you all for showing up and for participating. If you want to put your, if you haven't already, put your LinkedIn in the chat. Now's a good time to do it. And then also download the chat by opening up the chat and then clicking on those 3 dots on the right. And the first thing is save chat, and that will save it to, I don't know, a Zoom folder under documents. So you'll be able to find that. And I also, of course, I record this and I post it. You'll see the link to the posting in my newsletter. And if you have any questions, and Brittany, of course, if you have an interest, just reach out to me and we'll chat. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome.
Enjoy your evening, afternoon, whatever it happens to be. And I'll
have a good night.
Hopefully. Absolutely. Take care.
Thanks, Michael.